something orange over here. We'll go check it out.
It's day one of ISAR, the Coast Guard Auxiliary International Search and Rescue Competition in St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada. The teams are taking part in the on-water search and rescue event. They're given a scenario where a child is reported missing at sea in an inflatable dinghy. They're given the last known position and a description of the dinghy and have just 30 minutes to plan their search and rescue mission. After donning their Mustang survival suits, they must head out to sea and, using their plan, attempt to locate and rescue the missing child. Team Maryland is accustomed to patrolling the waters of Chesapeake Bay. Now, almost 2,000 miles up the Atlantic coast, they must put the same skills to use to navigate the rugged waters outside the narrows of St. John's Harbor.
Do a shoreline search along here.
First, each team must give their helmsman the rundown of their search plan. Because the auxiliary teams are not familiar with the treacherous waters surrounding St. John's Harbor or the Zodiac fast rescue crafts used in the competition, the local Canadian Coast Guard members pilot the vessels.
You're looking out for this boat that's out here. Keep your eyes peeled. It may not be where we're expecting it.
Unlike Team Hawaii, who thought the stranded boater would drift to sea, Team Maryland has planned to look for the missing child along the shoreline. Their plan leads them to one of the secluded inlets that litter the coastline around St. John's.
What you got, guys? That person in water? Can you talk to him?
In 14 and a half minutes, the men from Maryland have successfully rescued the missing child.
Good job, guys. Good job. Could we have done it any faster? Probably not, and done it safely. Safety for our crew on board is the first thing we pay attention to. We're very happy with our results.
With Team Maryland feeling good about their run, it's Team Ontario's turn to take to the water.
Our number one priority, as always, is personal safety. Make sure you hang on because we are going to be going like scared jackrabbits, okay?
They're looking to add to their lead from the rescue pump event.
Hey guys, we're getting out into open water, hang on!
Team Ontario also plans to do a shoreline search from a quarter of a nautical mile offshore.
Shut her down, right down. Engines off, please. Okay, we're looking, we're listening. We're listening for anybody screaming and yelling here.
From the nautical charts in the planning session, Jim has decided that his commencement search point, the place where the team will begin their search, is at a bearing taken from the lighthouse at the edge of the harbor.
335. Great.
Using a compass to find the bearing, they can now commence their search pattern.
I'm going to give you a magnetic course because I have no idea what the deviation is on board this thing. Run 205. Hang on, power up!
Wasting no time, Team Ontario executes their shoreline search pattern.
Okay, see that cliff right there? See the peak in the cliff? Get her into there. Let's go.
Jim and Team Ontario's meticulous planning is starting to pay dividends.
Do you need help? Are you the person we're looking for?
Following strict safety procedure, Derek calls out to the victim as Adrian guides the boat in.
Slow, dead slow. Reverse!
If any safety protocol is ignored, the team will be heavily penalized on their points for the event. Carefully playing by the book, Derek retrieves the tag from the floating dummy.
Okay, I got my tag. Tag? Yep. Okay.
By completing their mission quickly and safely, Team Ontario has earned 68 points in the Sarex event and another first-place finish.
The team did fabulous. The team did their jobs beautifully. Derek backed me up fabulously. I have no complaints. It went great.
At the halfway point of ISAR, the International Search and Rescue Competition in St. John's, Newfoundland, Team Ontario is right on track and dominating the leaderboard with a total of 212 points. In second, with 207 points, is Team Michigan, while Team Maryland is staying close behind with 202 points. Good enough for third place. With the scoring close and a lot of points up for grabs in day two, it's still anyone's contest. Big points are on the line. The heaving line.
Go, Adrian, go, go, man.
It's make or break time in day two of ISAR.
Practice. That's what does it.
The rescue pump, a high-speed water rescue. It's all part of the Coast Guard International Search and Rescue Competition from Newfoundland, Canada, where volunteer Coast Guards are put through their paces for the title of Top Rescue Team. As dawn breaks on Newfoundland, Canada, teams arrive at the Royal Newfoundland Yacht Club for the second and final day of ISAR.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs.
Going into day 2, Team Ontario has a slim 5-point lead over Team Michigan, but it's still anyone's contest.
We have some very, very close scores between American and Canadian teams for all events, so today's competition should be the deciding factor. It's going to be an exciting day.
After a disappointing finish in the pump event, the local favorite, Team Newfoundland, started to hit their stride in the on-water rescue or SARX event. And with 150 points, they're still within striking distance of Team Ontario. Like most of Newfoundland's Coast Guard Auxiliary, the team is made up of commercial fishermen. Because their fishing waters are up to 200 miles from shore, the auxiliarists are often the first to respond when there's a situation at sea. Captain Brian Penny, Superintendent of Coast Guard Operations for Newfoundland, sees the auxiliary as an invaluable asset to the Coast Guard.
Due to the numbers of auxiliary that we have around our province and the numbers of Coast Guard ships dedicated to search and rescue, the auxiliary tends to be in locations where they are called upon to respond and assist while we're trying to get one of our larger ships to the area.
Local fishing boat captain Trevor Short is a member of the Canadian Coast Guard Auxiliary. When fishing in the perilous North Atlantic for up to 3 days at a time, Trevor and his fellow seamen rest assured, knowing that help is never far away.
These type of boats is always fishing around other boats, and then you've got other people in the auxiliary. Everybody knows, what to do and what you got aboard.
As professional mariners, Team Newfoundland's seamen's skills and knowledge of the local waters have not been overlooked by the other competitors.
We expect these guys are going to know the waters, the area, the conditions, and we will have to adapt to our situation here and do the best that we can.
And Day 2's events are exactly what these hardy seamen can excel at.
It takes a very skilled hand at the helm to operate those boats and to use those heating lines for the floating targets. Some big points can be scored here today. It all comes down to teamwork and skill.
The day begins with an event known as Heaving Line 1. A heaving line is a heavy gauge, buoyant rope weighted on one side. In a real-life situation, the Coast Guard would use a heaving line to attach their vessel to a boat in distress.
Very, very infrequently in the maritime environment can one get a rescue vessel alongside a stricken vessel due to heavy weather situations. Normally in these situations, in order to establish contact with a stricken vessel, it has to be done by way of a heaving line.
The teams will test these skills by throwing the heaving line 50 feet off the dock at a floating target. Points from 0 to 20 are awarded according to where the line hits the target.
Once the heaving line is thrown and snags the target, a second rescuer in a rubber raft alongside the wharf will then have to paddle out to the target to unsnag the line. Will then be towed back alongside the wharf. Total time allowed for this event is 15 minutes.
Unlike the other events where scoring is on a fixed scale, in Heaving Line 1, the more you hit, the more you score. A good showing here can really push a team ahead.